world of sports and the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Camille Claren. In tonight's game plan, Pinoy sports fans can now experience the upcoming Olympics on various platforms thanks to the world-class joint coverage of Signal TV, TV5, Smart, and PLDT. We'll bring you more details in a little while. Meanwhile, in the NBA, the Bucks barely survived Game 3 against the Nets. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton led the way with a combined 68 points. But can Giannis be the best player of a championship team? And we go inside the game of the saint of Gilas, Pilipinas, Dwight Ramos, as he gets set for a bigger role in the national squad. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game.
Travel has proven to be difficult during the time of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, this has been a sacrifice that Dwight Ramos has taken multiple times, all for the service of Gilas Pilipinas.
I just feel like it's my duty to come when I'm called. Whenever they'll call me, I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to try and come here. Usually when I go back home, it's just I was just going to continue training because I know it's a little more strict here with their protocols and stuff, so I wasn't able to train as much if I wasn't in the bubble. So I continued training in the States, and then I came back here ready for the bubble when they called.
The process has not been easy for Dwight, but it was all worth it, as every step he took was towards him becoming a better player.
So since those games, I went for Christmas. I went back home for Christmas, then I came back for the bubble. Then the bubble got disbanded again. Then I stayed. We had another bubble here. Then that one got disbanded again. And that one was because of the rising cases, so I went back home. I think it was a month in between, so I was there for about a month. I got my vaccine. I kept training there, and then I'm back here now. So that's twice over that time. I just trained with one of my high school coaches. I've been training with him for a long time, so I kind of trust in how he does things, and I just lift weights there at the gyms and stuff. So everything's pretty much open over there now. So it's just kind of how my routine goes, just working out. And my brother's there too, so we kind of work out together. That's kind of my routine over there.
The Gilas Pilipinas pool that Ramos joins this time around is a little younger. He debuted for the national team early last year when they faced Indonesia. And back then, the team had PBA players and FIBA World Cup veterans such as Kiefer Ravena, CJ Perez, RR Pogoy, and Troy Rosario. Now, Dwight has no other choice but to step into a leadership role with the squad.
So when I first got here, I knew everybody was going to be young. I wasn't really sure about what the plan was or anything yet, but since I was there from the first bubbles and stuff from Bahrain, it's kind of all the same stuff. And during that month I wasn't here, it was kind of bringing those young guys up to speed so that we were at the same level. And so I think we're just all progressing pretty well right now, and it's coming up to the game, so we got to hope we're ready.
Ramos opened his Gilas Pilipinas career with a quiet 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. But he grabbed the attention of Philippine basketball fans with a perfect game against Thailand during the second window, with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals without missing a single shot in 20 minutes on the court. However, even with all the praise that he has received, Ramos isn't allowing himself to enjoy it too much.
Yeah, it does. I hear some of this stuff, and it's something I have to rise to. I have to keep getting better. If that's what people want to see me as, then I guess I'll have to keep improving and get to what people want me to. I think we've won once. We've won once here, and it was in the Philippines. So we're hoping to recreate that history. I wish the crowd could be there. Just like I've seen videos that the crowd was just crazy. I wish they could, so I hope everybody's over there cheering at home when we start playing.
Para sa bayan!
From Calamba, Laguna, Carlo Pamintuan for One Sports Plus.
Once again, that was Carlo Pamintuan with an exclusive with Dwight Ramos from inside the Calamba bubble. Joining us tonight is Aaron Black of Morocco Bolts. Hey Aaron, thank you for joining us.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
How was
Thanks
that
for having
drive
me.
back?
3 hours. That was awesome.
Yeah, I know. Both of you guys, I think you and Paolo are both caught in that traffic. But, thank you
Yeah.
for coming on tonight. Honestly, I've heard that, Dwight is getting all that talk, especially him being the leading point of Gilas. So both of us have played in UAAP, and then also you have played in the PBA. So how do you kind of deal with that talk?
I think I deal with it with my work. I think if you get your work in, if you make sure that you get your time in the gym, on the court, aside from practice itself, I think that confidence will turn into something good once the game starts. I think you can have people telling you all kinds of things, but if you're the type of person that leans on your work, which I think Dwight is that type of guy, I think he will be fine. He will be just fine once the games come.
Yep, I know. I love that. Let your game speak. But have
Yeah.
you seen that they listed him as a point guard? Like Matt, or, we have a couple of injuries, especially with Ray Suerte recently. So how do you think Dwight is going to step up to that role? Do you think he's going to stay as a point guard, move into more of a forward role? How do you think, as a legit point guard yourself, how do you think he's going to take over?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think when he came here to Ateneo, Coach Tab's plan was to actually really make him into a point guard. So, he seems comfortable there. He's 6'4", so he can really see the floor. That's a big advantage for him. Plus, on the international level, being a big guard is always an advantage. So, if they do decide to play him at the one with Matt out, I think that would be advantageous to the team, and hopefully it works out for us against Korea.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, do you have any advice for, the young guns, especially in this new Gilas tournament coming up? Anything you want to say to them?
Well, for me, I think, first of all, don't let the outside talk get to you. Everybody has their own opinion. They're entitled to it. Just play your game, come out with confidence, and then, play your hardest, because this is a tough Korea team that they're going to play first. And I think if they come out, play hard, and play with confidence, they can compete.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. And I'm so excited to see them, live and finally playing in our own country. So thanks, Aaron.
Definitely.
When we return, Pinoy sports fans can now experience the upcoming Olympics on various platforms thanks to world-class joint coverage of Signal TV, TV5, Smart, and PLDT. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game.
Welcome back. You're watching The Game. I'm Paulo Del Rosario. In 42 days, we will be witnesses to the greatest display of athleticism and sportsmanship in the world. As the Tokyo Olympics draws closer, and with this, the MVP group, through its broadcasting arm, Signal TV and TV5, and its telecommunication arm, the PLDT and Smart, are ready to provide world-class multi-platform coverage of the 2020 Games. Signal TV and TV5 President and CEO Robert P. Galang says, Filipino sports fans can enjoy an extensive coverage of the Games across free-to-air channels, TV5 and One Sports, as well as Signal TV's One Sports Plus, and on 2 new channels dedicated to the Olympics 24/7. To add to that, exclusive Olympic content will also be accessible via Signal Play. He adds the coverage of the international sporting events will not end with the Olympic Games, as viewers and subscribers can be assured that they can enjoy only the best quality sports content on multiple platforms. Meanwhile, Smart will be offering a complete coverage through their GigaFest.Smart platform. This will feature a live stream of the Games and other Olympic content, while PLDT will be offering 10 channels to select triple play subscribers. PLDT and Smart President and CEO Al Espanlillo says, and I quote, "It is our great pride to provide our subscribers access to the Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020 for them to enjoy this global sporting spectacle. We are also honored to be able to show Filipino athletes as they show support to Filipino athletes as they embark on their journey to make our country proud and showcase their skills through sports and athletics." End of quote. The Tokyo Olympics is set to happen from July 23 to August 8. The Philippines currently has 10 qualified athletes for the Tokyo Games. Household names like Hayden Diaz, Kaloy Yulo, and EJ Obiena will lead the way of our Olympians, together with boxers Jumir Marcial, Irish Magno, Nesty Petesio, and Carlo Paalam. Rower Chris Nievarez also joins the list along with Marjeline Dedal, who will be participating in the debuting skateboarding event. And completing that list is our lone delegate in Taekwondo, Kurt Barbosa. The UAAP rookie MVP, now Olympian, shares his determination to fulfill his lifelong dream of making history in the Olympics. In this interview with our very own Gretchen Ho.
Kurt, welcome back to the Philippines. Isa ka ng ganap na Olympian. And ito nga, no, nakwento mo sa amin last time na pangarap mo to ever since bata ka. Ngayon, na nakamit mo na yung goal na yon, ano yung pakiramdam na natupad mo na yung pangarap mo?
Unang-una po talaga is sobrang thankful ako kay God kasi lahat ng pangarap na gusto ko mangyari is nakamit ko, na pupunta ako sa Olympics once. Kahit na sobrang hirap, ganun. Sobrang saya ko po ngayon kasi makakatungtong na ako sa Olympics po.
UAAP pa lang, rookie MVP ka na, SEA Games na gold ka. Tapos ito sa Olympics, nakapasok ka agad sa unang try mo. Ano yung parang yan ba talaga, parang na-expect mo ba na ganyan kabilis yung pagpasok sa Olympics? Or talagang kumpiyansa ka, alam mo sa sarili mo na ganong level ka?
Siguro po yung paghihirap ko din, tsaka tiyaga ko din sa training. Kaya siguro nagbubungo po siya ngayon. Kasi alam po nila yan, sila coach, yung gaano ako kasipag sa training yan, sila papa, kahit na umuwi ako sa probinsya. Disiplinado po talaga ako sa sarili ko na kasi may gusto akong mangyari, may gusto akong yung pangarap ko matupad, ganun po. So, unang-una po talaga yung discipline sa sarili. Yun po. Kaya siguro, nakuha ko yung mga ganun na bagay po.
Alam natin laking probinsya ka, sumapa ka sa Manila, pumunta ka sa NU, tapos, ngayon parang, pag nakikita ka namin, ang confident mo eh. Hindi lahat ng atleta ganun eh. Saan nanggagaling yon yung kumpiyansa na yun?
Um, yung why not po, yung signature why not, hashtag why not. Nagsimula po talaga yan nung nag-rookie MVP ako eh. Tapos yung time po kasi na yon is laging nagti-triple-double si Westbrook. So, yung hashtag niya, why not? So sabi ko, bakit hindi ko gayahin to eh? Parehas kami nagdo-dominate. Parang ganun yung year na yun po. So, doon po nagsimula yung hashtag why not. Tapos, doon ko rin nakikita sa kanya yung confidence talaga na kahit na ang liit niya, parang kahit na anong mangyari, parang sobrang laki ng parang ang yabang niya sa loob ng laro. Pero pagdating naman sa labas, sobrang bait naman niya. So, doon ko kumbaga ginagaya yung ugali ni Westbrook during the game. Yung parang pinapa-enjoy niya yung mga nanonood. Sobrang in-enjoy niya lang yung laro. So, doon po naggaganon yung pagka-confidence ka po.
Last question, Kurt. Message mo, unang-una sa pamilya mo. Tapos message mo sa mga taga-Abra, mga katulad mo na na mga taga-probinsya na naghahangad na makatuntong din sa Olympics.
Alam ko, hindi lang yung Olympics eh. Alam ko yung medal, gold yung gusto natin. So, paghahandaan natin, sana pagdasal niyo ako lagi.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Kurt. Congratulations.
That was our Gretchen Hall with Kurt Barbosa. Now, when we return, the Bucks barely survived Game 3 against the Nets. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs, so stay tuned. You're watching the game. Welcome back to the game. I'm Paulo De Rosario, and well, I'm actually joining the actual host of this show today, Camille Clarin. Camille, I guess you should ask me how I'm doing, but how are you doing?
I mean, I'm doing great.
All
I was
right.
just thrown into it, so maybe, you gotta watch out. I might take your job.
You know what? I'm actually thinking about that. I got to up my game for sure. And let's talk a bit about what happened today in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's crazy because of what we saw from, I guess, what we didn't see from the Clippers. And at the same time, the Bucks getting one back. That makes it a bit more interesting.
Finally.
Nets seemed it felt like a 90s rock fight. What do you think about that?
I mean, we say that Kevin Durant had a bad game.
Yeah.
But realistically, he still had 30 points. And honestly, I feel like in every series, like you saw in the first round, they'll just give them one game, like they did to Boston.
So let's get right into it. We begin with the Milwaukee Bucks barely surviving at home to take Game 3 over the Brooklyn Nets. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton combined for 68 of the Bucks' 86 total points, and that's equivalent to the 79% of the team's scoring output, the highest percentage for any duo in NBA history. On the other hand, Kevin Durant scored 30 but missed a game-tying three-pointer for the Nets. The Bucks got the win, but it was a different story on social media. Take a look at that. A lot of people are now saying that they could guard Giannis, and simply because they think that he wanted to be Ray Allen. And the reason why is because of all the uncontested threes that Giannis took. And here's another tweet from veteran analyst Shannon Sharp about Giannis' defense, as we are going to wait for that to come up. And it's unacceptable, he says, that Giannis is a defensive player of the year and he's not guarding KD in this situation. Tucker should slide to Brown, Lopez to Blake, and Giannis takes KD. But you know what? Maybe, just maybe, it could be a bit different because Giannis, they ended up winning anyway, and they held the Nets down to such a low score. And that being said, can Giannis actually be the best player of a championship team? Now, joining us tonight for our discussion is former Ateneo Blue Eagle and the 2020 PBA Outstanding Rookie from the Morocco Bolts, Aaron Black, who also suffered a A bit of traffic today coming from Batangas. How are you feeling, my friend?
I'm good. It was a long ride, but I'm good. Happy to be here.
All right, I'm happy to be here too. But looking at this in particular, Giannis, a lot of people are questioning his defense, questioning his choice of offense. What did you make of his performance?
Well, honestly, I was kind of disappointed. First of all, he got another violation on the free throw line. Like, how can that happen twice in one playoff? And then at the same time, he took 8 threes today, which I don't think he has to. I think once he starts missing 2 or 3, he should go to the basket right away. I know they're sort of playing a zone, they're sort of packing the paint, but he can do that to create for his teammates as well. And he's just lucky Middleton and Drew came up clutch to help him out.
Well, Camille, they say it's lucky maybe, but then should you be concerned if you're the Nets knowing that? Because we know that this is a team that scores over and over and over again. But here, as I mentioned a while ago, it felt like a 90s rock fight. No one could score.
Yeah. I mean, I love the difference of offense. You have 2 dynamic duos. You have Chris Middleton and Giannis, and then you have obviously Kyrie and KD.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why the Nets will be on top is because they have other offensive people they can throw to. Like you saw Blake Griffin erupt in Game 1, but who are you going to see on the Bucks end to do the same?
Yeah. So we know that in the Nets they have 2 guys who have won championships and were arguably the best in championship situations. You had KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
You have to see without James Harden. But then, can Giannis be that guy for the Bucks? Can he be the best player on a championship team in your opinion? Camille, I'll start with you, and Aaron, feel free to fight her after this. I know you just met, but Camille, you go ahead.
Easily, you see how much of an impact he has on the game offensively and defensively. And I do agree with Shannon Sharp. Throw him into those defensive schemes where he's going to be challenged, not just offensively. Because to be that person of a championship team, you need to be able to do both.
Aaron, your thoughts?
I mean, for me, I definitely agree. He can be that top guy for a championship team, but at the same time, he needs somebody like Drew or Middleton to complement him, because those guys. I think Giannis is a type of Shaq, like Shaq said before. He's the second generation of Shaq, and for me, you need like a Kobe. Hopefully, Drew Holiday and Middleton can combine to be a Kobe. But if he has that, and if they can step up these next few games, I think they can make the series really interesting.
I like how you said that Drew and Middleton had to combine to be Kobe, and not that one of them could be Kobe. Because I would fight you after that. But let's focus on something that we can both fight together. Because prior to us actually going on air, Aaron did message me saying that I'm gonna roast the Clippers. So, what's up about the Clippers? We're gonna bring out the box score here in a bit. But the Clippers in general fall to the Utah Jazz after another disappointing performance from Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard falling short this time around. Aaron, take the floor.
I'm going to give a hot take today and say, where's the Kawhi stopper at? I can't find him. I don't know where he's at.
All right.
But seriously, though, Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. He's showing that to us. This guy is a 3-level scorer. He can score in the paint, mid-range, 3 points, anywhere. He's pulling up from 30 right now. He's on another level.
And Camille, your thoughts on this as we bring out the box scores from today. So you had Paul George with 27, but it didn't really feel like an efficient one from his point of view. But then you look at Donovan Mitchell with 37 as well.
I mean, you see Donovan Mitchell and you watch the game, he's efficient. You want him to be that main offensive point. You see Paul George on the other hand, like I picked the Clippers, but I'm kind of regretting that because honestly, the Kawhi that I was rooting for, the Toronto Kawhi, is not showing himself up in these Clippers, giving up so many last-minute shots.
So this isn't the Toronto Kawhi.
No.
This is a different one. And Aaron, your thoughts on Rudy Gobert in general, because that Defensive Player of the Year award, he kind of showed that that he deserves it again in this particular game.
Yeah, I think he's worth all of the $205 million that he's getting paid in the next 5 years. This guy is for real. He made the last defensive stop in Game 1, and today he was just altering every single shot at the basket. I think Kawhi and Paul George had a couple, could have been layups, but he altered them and changed the shot completely.
All right, so based on what we've seen so far, I'm going to ask the both of you here. Is a sweep on the cards for the Jazz, or do you still feel that the combination of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George can steal a game and make this a series like they did against Dallas. Camille, I'll start with you.
I won't say it's a sweep. I'll give them a chance. I'll say it's 5-1, just because they gave the Dallas Mavs a run for their money. We all thought Dallas had it in the bag. I did, honestly, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that Kawhi can get out of the slump and, take them to at least one win.
All right, Aaron, I'm not going to let you explain yes or no. Is it a sweep or not?
No, I can't. I have to say in 5.
All right, Utah in 5. I'll take it. I think you guys are smart. That's why we have you here over and over again to talk about how the Jazz are going to win. Again, thank you very much, Camille and Aaron, for joining us here today. Again, I'm Paulo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.